One, two, three, go. Hey guys, so impromptu video, totally unplanned. Um, I just got a great surprise in the mail, and this is awesome. Ugh, a big ass heavy box from United Kingdom Games Workshop, which is funny that it says Games Workshop, but um, I've been wanting this for so long, and it finally actually came down in price a lot. A deal, you could say. Oh, this is awesome. Wow, and this is a heavy box. Now this is really just a bonus for me because this isn't really what I bought this for. But check it out. Boom! Sweet! Belmont Press. I don't know what... I guess that's who makes these. Oh, this is awesome. Wow. Um, so, this just came from Forge World amazingly fast because the shipping email came through on the 11th of February. That's when they sent an email saying that your order has now been dispatched, or however it was worded. Oh man, this is awesome. You know, I was thinking about taking these with me for reading material because I'm about to leave for a school for work for 2 weeks where I'm really not going to have internet, computer, that kind of thing. But these things weigh so much. Check this out. So we've got the updated and expanded volume Imperial Armour Volume 2 War Machines of the Adeptus Astartes. And bam! You can see the camera shaking because that's how heavy this is. Badab War. Whoop. The Badab War series, Part 1 and 2. So, um, this is pretty awesome stuff. Kind of a nice cover here. It's funny, it says, so this is kind of interesting. Um, Obviously, you have Games Workshop, Forge World, and then it says Warhammer 40k expansion. And I know that some people still to this day, and it debate the whole is Forge World official, blah blah blah. But this, I mean, that pretty much says Warhammer 40,000 expansion. But as with anything, it's really up to your opponent, regardless of what Games Workshop says. You know, if you can't find somebody willing to play, then it doesn't matter. Now this is kind of interesting. These came in a set, but for some reason, part one is actually um, sealed. So you can see my finger running over the plastic there. Not sure what's up with that. But let's go ahead. Oh, this comes with a poster, doesn't it? Oh, yes. Oh, man, these are... Oh, that smell. Oh, sweet. I need to put this up. I'd really actually like to frame it, but that might be expensive. Wow, this is massive. This is a little bigger than I thought it was. So, if I can open this without tearing it. Oh, that's cool. So, if I just get part of it on here. Um, so this is a poster of like every chapter involved in the Badab War. And that's cool because the Salamanders guy has heresy armor. Actually, that's kind of a wicked looking helmet. I don't know what mark that's supposed to be. Is that Mark 4 or 5? Yeah, is that Mark 4 heresy? Because it's got like the Terminator snout on it, just shorter. That's pretty awesome. Oh, this is so cool. I've been wanting this Badab stuff. I've been hearing, you hear people on the forums and stuff talk about Badab this and Badab that all the time. All the great expanded fluff that is in here for certain chapters. And that is probably, I'm going to guess that's Commander Kuln, right? I think he was the and commander on the ground, basically, the guy in charge of the whole operation. This is where they introduced the Red Scorpions, which I don't think existed until they did this. I think they created them for this. I don't know. So obviously, I'm not going to go too in depth. They'll probably do maybe we'll make this like a video series where I just kind of, I read some and then we'll just kind of summarize it. Obviously, I'm not going to read it word for word and all that stuff. Um, IP violations and all that. And I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of an elitist. Maybe this is kind of an elitist attitude in a way, but well, nah. I'm not really that big on piracy. As much as I hate Games Workshop, I have yet to actually pirate anything. Now I have bought, third-party stuff, but I don't have. I'm kind of looking around. I have not bought any third-party miniatures that can stand on their own. The stuff I have bought has required me to own a Games Workshop kit. I'm just kind of looking at my hobby table behind me. The only thing I have bought so far that's going to stand on its own is the Dreamforge Leviathan, because you know the conversion rates and just the prices for a Warhound are just whew, holy moly. Um, oh, there's another poster. Astral Claws, Venerable Dreadnought, Cleator, Ancient. God, I have no idea how to say that. So this is actually a bad guy, right? Because Astral Claws are the Tyrant's chapter. So how cool is that? And there's a map on the back. So that's cool. So there's a map on the back of this, and then you get this. So that is cool. So yeah, we'll probably turn this into a video series. Story time, Badab story time with Silver Skull Gamer. Oh, it's so cool. Yes, I just sniffed it. It's got that fresh, I don't know, it's like new car smell. Oh, look at that, right to the Red Scorpions. Oh, this is cool. Oh, they're so new. It's like they're so new you don't even want to open them all the way because you're like gonna mess up the binding. It's like, oh, just open it part way. Oh, there's the Dreadnought. So this is broken up into two books, which I mean, this is just got to be a massive amount of. Oh, this is cool. I like when they do the artwork using models, actual models, not CGI, but then they just add like After Effects. That's cool. That is cool. So there's a couple things I'm really interested in. There's Apocalypse. Okay, so in the back. All right, let's. Um, the Firehawks play a role in the Badab War, and those of you that follow Space Marines in 40K, um, they became, if you follow Fluff, um, after the Badab series, and I believe after the Badab series, and all this fluff about the Firehawks came out, that's when the Legion of the Damned fluff kind of changed. and really, what is this supposed to be? 3D? That's kind of weird. Um, and basically the 40 or the Legion of the Damned fluffed almost outright stated that they were the remnants of the Firehawks that survived the destruction of their chapter. Um, I never really liked that because, well, that seemed like a huge retcon that Legion of the Damned has only existed since then. Like, I'm pretty sure that actually, if you go back, you know, originally there were stories of the Legion of the Damned all throughout forever, and I'd like to believe that. It seems, really, it seems to me it'd be like almost cooler if they went back to the heresy and were like maybe loyalists. I'm just talking. This is just me. Maybe they were loyalists from the traitor legions that something happened to them and they came back to purge the unclean and all that. But they were damned because. Anyways, we're about to get a Legion of the Damned digital codex, so who knows what it's going to say in there. I hope they don't make it stupid. I hope they leave it vague and ambiguous, and I hope they do go back to saying that there's been reports of the Legion of the Damned all the way back to the 31st millennium or whatever. 32nd, 31st, 30th. Um, so that's one thing I'm looking forward to seeing. Oh, this is cool. Fire Angels. There are some chapters I thought were kind of strange because the name of the chapter, and then you look at their paint scheme, and you're just like, man, that sure doesn't really match up, does it? Like, look at this. Okay, now just look at the paint job, and you're like, okay, they're like Red Crusaders, Steel Knights, Steel Crusaders. No, Fire Angels. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. There's nothing fire or angel like. Whatever. But those are the Fire Angels, so that's cool. Um, these are really like every page is heavy paper, gloss, color. I mean, this stuff. This is nice. This is cool, man. And I gotta pull up something real quick so I can give a shout out to the man who made this all possible. And I will go and leave him a positive feedback. Mad Cow Crazy is the man of the hour. For whatever reason, I couldn't. The Forge World website wouldn't take my credit card. It wasn't anything with my bank because I called my bank. They're like, "Oh, we don't even see where you even tried to use your card." So, and I can't make international calls on my cell phone, so I was kind of screwed. Anyways, so this guy acted as a Mad Cow Crazy from Daka Daka was my middleman, and huge shout out. I can't believe this stuff has arrived already. I really didn't think it was. I think thought it was gonna take a couple of weeks. And it arrived so fast, I had to check the label again just to make sure it arrived from overseas and not, maybe a distribution center in the U.S. But nope, it says overseas. So that's book one. Just kind of flipping through, and I'm talking. Like I said, we'll do more in-depth stuff. Now that is Huron himself, Flamer, like double power claw. That looks pretty traitorous to me. I mean, look at that. That's very chaosy. The claw, anyways. I do like the heavy Flamer thing. That's cool. It's not as subtle as old uh, Master of the Forge Father Volcanistan's, where it's like actually integrated into the fist, but that's still pretty cool. Oh wow, that's cool. We have this now. This is a picture of maybe an epic. No. Battlefleet Gothic model, maybe some giant floating space station. So part two. I said I don't even know where these pick up, drop off and pick up at. Tyrant's Legion. So I do know that Huron actually had his own, like he turned his planetary defense force into his own army, and they started calling themselves the Tyrant's Legion. And I believe his Space Marine chapter also began to grow well beyond 1,000 Marines. Of course, that will all be, laid out in the end. Cool. So we got this page. We got like a couple little organizational things here. Minotaurs, salamanders. Ooh, I really like the paint job on this Land Raider, where it's all black with just green stripes. That's cool. I like I like that variant paint scheme. I may have to steal that one day in the far future. So that's cool. So there's a lot of cool stuff that happened in Badab War. And a lot of new chapters were introduced, some mysterious chapters like the Minotaurs. They're heavily involved. Their fluff is pretty cool. Um, the space sharks, the Caridons Astra. Um, that's pretty cool. So here, oh, this is cool. So this actually explains every like bit of Huron's armor. So it's like number one, Terminator armor. Number two, the Ghost's razor, which would be his fist. The heavy flamer. Four. What is four? It's his shoulder pad. The Tyrant's claw icon. Reliquaries and chapter insignia. That's cool. There's a whole page just on his armor. Um, oh, this is so cool. I'm so happy. Chapters of the Badab War Part 2 with a exorcist's apothecary right there. Mantis Warriors. These guys play a pretty big role. Kind of switching sides and stuff. So, Mantis Warriors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they had 5 pages of text, roughly. So I got salamanders. Awesome. Can't wait to read that. Love the salamanders. They got flames painted on all their guns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they only got like 4. Ooh, executioners. There's another cool chapter. Don't really know much about them. They have a cool insignia. Oh, this is so cool. So cool. Lots of reading. Sons of Medusa. I like these guys. These guys are split from the Iron Hands in the Morier Schism. Yep. Just happened to look right at it on the page. So these are like one of only 2 or 3 Iron Hands successors, and these really aren't successors because they're actually, how would you describe that? They're, I guess, successors, but um, I guess technically they are successors, but they actually split from the chapter, and I can't wait to read. Hopefully, it explains a lot more in depth about what exactly the Moriai Schism was and why they split. Whether they're, I can't see them being more tech dependent than the Iron Hands because the Iron Hands are pretty radical, but maybe they are. I don't know. Well, hopefully we'll find out. So maybe that's something we'll go over. Oh, lots of Terminator. They're all Terminators? I wonder if that's because their first company. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, that's cool. Bionic Terminator foot. Now, see, that's interesting. This might be laziness on the part of the Forge World, actually, because like I just pointed out how I like the paint job. Let's get this all the way over on a Salamander's Land Raider, and then I flip, and the Sons of Medusa had like the exact same paint job, black with a green stripe. Okay, so maybe Forge World is not innocent of recycling images as well. I mean, because the greens are very similar for Salamanders and Sons of Medusa. They would just have to basically swap out the. Yeah. Anyways, Minotaurs. Oh, lots of. Can't wait to read about them. Lots of speculation about who the Minotaurs are because they're one of the last 21st founding chapters to still be around and doing quite well, interestingly enough, unlike some of the others that are all pretty much dying out for one reason or another. So Minotaur, there they are, the space sharks. Cool stuff. I'm not sure what founding they are. A lot of mystery behind them because basically, like, from what I understand, the Badab War is like the only time anybody's ever seen these guys. They just showed up, messed stuff up, and then disappeared again. Exorcists are cool. I have read a little bit about them. Cool stuff. Star Phantoms, chapter uh, Cestus Assault Ram, or CAR, CAR. That's easier. Wow, look at this paint job. So these are like the stormtroopers of 40k, white, black on white. That is a complicated chapter symbol. I would hate to try to freehand that. Whew, I would hopefully somebody's made a decal template somewhere that you can download for that, because that is complicated as hell. Alright, so now what are we getting into here? Engines of Destruction. The Cestus Assault Ram. Dreadnoughts. Land Raider, Land Raider Achilles. Land Raiders. There's a bunch of writing on the Land Raiders. Oh, because they got the variants at the end there. Land Speeders. Rhino and its variants. The Forge World turret on that one, of course. Lots of cool, like, technical looking drawings. Thunderhawks. Oh, cool. They got a cutaway. That's cool. So basically, the entire upper two sections are all to support the main gun. That's cool. Armor marks. All right, that's cool. So we got Mark 7, Mark 5 Heresy. That is a Mark 5 helmet, huh? Looks funky. Oh, Mark 4. Okay, so that's Mark 5. Mark 4 is the Maximus, which I'm not really a big fan of. Maximus armor. It's something about the helmet. It's just weird. Mark 8 Errant. Mark 7 variant Apothecary. And see, Mark 8, I've seen all different depictions of Mark 8. This one shows the shoulder pads that come with the company command squad, and the way they've modeled you use these shoulder pads on the company champion. They're like big double armor plate, and there's the collar, extended collar, which this one's cut out. Some of them, the collar goes all the way across. But what I've seen from Mark 8 is, yeah, there's no exposed wires and cabling, and then down on either the inside or both sides of the heel is like a big rounded joint armored like joint covering, but this one doesn't have it, so I'm still not really totally positive what exactly Mark 8 is supposed to look like. I've heard like the gauntlets are even supposed to be different. I don't know. Whatever. Because apparently, like the Minotaurs chapter is entirely kitted out in Mark 8 armor, which is a rarer than like Terminator armor. Nobody has it. Lords of Destruction Part 2. Ooh, Captain of the Salamander Second Company. Cool. So we get. So here are some named special characters. There's all his rules. 150 points. Brayarth Ashmantle's the Dreadnought, which Funnily enough, they don't even have pictured down here. There is a model for him you can order. Can't wait to read about him. Azara, Chief Librarian of the Mantis Warriors. High Chaplain Thulsa Kane. Wow. Tiberius the Red Wake. I love the model for that guy. I'm hoping that maybe I can find a character once I read all of these guys' rules that maybe would fit with the Silver Skulls. Oh, what is it? Okay, hold on. Space Marine Siege Assault Vanguard. So the down and dirty is you still are required 1 HQ, 2 troops out of 6 possible, only 2 fast attack options, but you gain, and 3 elites, optional elites, and then but you're required to take a heavy support, and you get an extra heavy support slot. So I can't wait to read the Siege Assault Vanguard list. I heard it's pretty cool. Siege Master. So that's an actual like generic character. Cool. So it lists your elites and then it refers to Codex. Now I am going to be upset if Forge World comes out with Badab War 2nd edition to update to 6th edition rules right after I've already bought this, but still, it's the fluff's not going to change. It would just be the rules, and I'm sure they would publish a download. Um, so not a big deal. And then at the end, we've got some scenarios. It looks like vessels of the Badab War, so that's cool. So there's like some Battlefleet Gothic stuff in here too, which is neat. Or maybe it's just yeah, because it's got stats. So that's cool. So they've got Battlefleet Gothic, and then we've got Apocalypse. Wrath of Mars. Well, that's interesting. Is that the command Lanerator? Because it's got heavy bolter sponsons and assault cannon. I don't know. I guess so. That would be expensive. Because you got 3 Achilles and then a Mark IIB Redeemer, which is cool. Obviously, you could use a regular Redeemer. So, this is awesome. I am totally stoked that this stuff came in this fast. Totally stoked. This is cool.